Hi, it's Introvert Jen. I'm going to be reviewing Season 3, Episode 9 of Basketball Wives. Um, this episode was extra. It wasn't needed. After the big climax of last episode with Tammy beating Mika back to the United States, I don't see this episode was boring in comparison. It starts out with Tammy explaining to Royce all that happened in Italy. But basically, she was just pleading her case. Like, Mika deserved to be hit because I felt threatened, but that wasn't. The truth of the matter is, you don't hit anybody unless they hit you. And Mika's hand was out, but it wasn't in your face. The only reason it would have been in your face was because you were making an effort to be in her face. Susie was between you. Her hand was on her lap. Her hand was on her lap like this. So the only way her hand could have been in your face was if your face was right here. And seeing as there was a person sitting next to Mika, your face shouldn't have been right here. So, to me, Mika didn't plead her case. It appeared to Royce that she hadn't pleaded her case either, because Royce didn't seem to applaud what she did, and I really appreciated that from Royce. They're too old to be fighting, and especially over weave and who said who was fake or whatever. I mean, the things you do in high school. I'm 20 something years old, and I wouldn't argue about that. So I'm just like, I don't know. Mika took a big slide down my totem pole last week. Let's just say that. The A story of this episode was Jen beefing with Royce because she didn't tell her that Eric and her were in contact and she shouldn't be in contact with her. I kind of agree with Royce. Jen and Royce aren't friends, so she doesn't have to explain what she does to her. However, it would be the adult thing to do to tell her, hey, your husband wants me to be in a movie. I'm considering it. I'm talking to him today. This is what's going on. That's the adult thing to do. And as much as Royce claims to be an adult, she sure doesn't act like one when she needs to. And she sure doesn't dress like one either. I'm saying that as I'm wearing a tie-dye t-shirt, but I'm getting ready for bed. So, the thing I don't like about this episode the most was that it made Susie start making sense. But first I'll say this, Susie still needs to shut her freaking mouth. I don't know why she's always talking, always running and telling what she heard. She has so much to say. I'm like, stop telling everyone's business. That's going to come back on you. One day someone's going to beat you down and no one's going to help you because everyone knows you talk too much. Like, you don't need to go back and report everything you see. You're not Anderson Cooper. You're not Bill O'Reilly. We don't need your commentary, and you don't need anybody else's commentary on everything. Let everything happen in its due time, and then when people want to come talk to you, let them come talk to you. And that's the end of the story. But something she did say did make sense. Why is Eric contacting them two specifically to be in this movie? I mean, first of all, let's be real. Let's be real and frank. This movie's not going anywhere. First of all, Eric shows up for a business meeting with Royce without a director, without a producer, without, a script, and it's just like, or not even like a scene to look over. And it's like, you have to do this movie. I have a part specifically for you. You don't even know if Royce can act. Susie can't act because she can't even speak straight. And I'm wondering to myself the whole time I'm watching this, why is Eric all of a sudden writing scripts? When basketball players, when NFL players, when baseball players retire, the respectable job for them to go into is what? Sportscasting. Shaq's going to be a sportscaster. Jalen Rose is a sportscaster. Kenny Smith. All these respectable men go into sportscasting. Like, I know you weren't a big name because we're just now finding out about you. But it's like, why are you going straight to movies? You don't have any kind of pull like that. And if you do, it's because of the show. And if it's because of the show, then Jen has way more than you do. So, like, why? I don't understand why Royce would even entertain something like that from him. We all know it's not going to be a quality film. So she's like, I need to do what I need to do for my career and da-da-da. This is not going to help your career, sweetie. It's going to hurt it. You need to stick to dancing because that's what you do best, okay? She was opening up that dancing bar. You know, there's a bunch of white women out there who want to learn how to be sexy and get fit. You need to find your niche in that market and you need to exploit it. That's all you need to do. Like, I don't understand what's so hard for you. Um, so, you know, when Susie starts to make sense, then something's afoot. I would like to say that Eric needs to start out writing a poem or a short story or a coherent Twitter message because none of his tweets make sense. Nothing he does makes sense. I don't know, he just confuses me. Okay, so my biggest problem with Jen now is that she's saying the whole episode, Royce needs to come talk to me and she needs to talk to me about this before anything goes down, but then within 15 minutes before you're supposed to meet with her, you leave. When is that talking supposed to go down? Now you don't want to talk to her at all? Like, she still hasn't seen a script, not that you know that, unless Susie, the reporter, tells you everything, but she still doesn't know for sure whether she's doing it or not, so you need to talk to her. And don't be such a scary chicken. I think the reason that Jen didn't want to talk to Royce was because Evelyn wasn't there to throw drinks. So, I don't know, but we'll see. And Evelyn needs to stop throwing drinks around all these black women and their pressing curls, because that's not okay. But Jen will see that in the next episode, apparently. I'll talk about that a little later. The B story was Evelyn and Chad, even though it should have been Evelyn and her daughter. It was supposed to be about her daughter graduating, and, you know, she found out that her two dads couldn't make it, and she was just so disappointed. And Evelyn goes, yeah, you know, they don't want to see me because it hurts too bad and we're not friends. And her daughter brought up the very good point. It's not about you. This day is my day. Okay, you're getting married soon and you can have your own big day by yourself. But this is my day. Who cares about you? You should have made sure they got here. You have all the attitude for Susie. You have all the attitude for Royce. Why don't you get some of that attitude and have it directed towards them? You know, make sure they get here. That should have been her priority. So as soon as Chad gets there, it becomes about Evelyn and Chad, and I just think they're disgusting as a couple because, one, Chad is an attention whore. Why else would someone change their name to Ocho Cinco? And he's just, I don't know, you know, he's just kissing her like that in front of her daughter. Like, her daughter doesn't want to see that day. And you don't mean much to her daughter because, you know, you guys just got together, and as soon as you're moving in, she's moving out because she's moving to California. And once you do move in with her mom, you're only going to be there for 15 minutes and then you're going to bounce. So it's like, why on earth are you here at my graduation? I mean, I guess it was nice for him to come, but then he made it all about himself, given that speech at the table. Like, I know he was trying to be sweet, but I'm just like, I find his behavior so annoying, and I don't know if I'm the only one, but I had to fast forward through it and mute most of it because he was just being ridiculous. I don't know. So then we saw him take Evelyn out on the beach, and it was romantic at first. I was like, that's a nice touch, you know, but then when it came to giving a toast to each other, they couldn't even look each other in the eyes. And this is what's making me think that this is a fake relationship, because, you know, they fought to look into each other's eyes, and then once they did and the toast was over, there was this. Like, who looks away from their beloved like that? Like, and how do you not know your beloved was engaged 3 times? Like, these are all things you should find out before you get married. I don't know. They're not going to last. We all know this. So speaking of going from one awkward date to another, Jen's date with Al Reynolds' boyfriend was just strange. First of all, why are you letting Al Reynolds hook you up with anyone? Al Reynolds doesn't have any business playing matchmaker. He just shouldn't. As a matter of fact, the person that matched him with Star Jones should profusely apologize to her, because it's like, you know, I feel like Star has no friends. She has no friends that could pull her aside and say, hey, guess what? Your boyfriend's gay. Your fiance's gay. And Star Jones, she should have listened if someone did tell her that. But she was too focused on being a bride. Like, how do you not see all those raging signs there? Jen's date was just awkward. Like, she's an awkward individual to me. And I'm an awkward individual too. But it's just like, you're a grown woman, and I understand that divorce is hard and life is hard and da da da, but it's like, I don't know. I don't know. I just I don't see how they were like, I want to do this again. I was like, really? You want to do that again? You want to make us go through that again? Apparently they make out at Jen's, what is it called, a divorce party, which I've never heard of. And then Eric comes through and decides to pull a Evelyn and douse Jen with some kind of exotic drink. Um, I can't wait for the next episode. This episode is kind of just a filler episode, so we'll see where it goes. And then I believe shortly after that, they're probably going to pause a week and then have the two-part reunion special. And I'm hearing that the reunion special is going to be really good. I believe Mika and Tammy get into another fight. Someone gets into a fight, and I think it's going to be Tammy and Mika. So we'll see. All right. Bye.